Jeff, let's say somebody wanted to get early episodes of the show. Is that possible?
It is so possible.
If people wanted to get bonus episodes of the show, is that possible?
We got those too.
If people wanted to get like extra stuff, like video hangouts with us and other fans of the show, is that possible?
Dude, I'm telling you, all of that and more is possible. All they got to do is support the show.
How do they do that?
Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns, find out all the information you need, and help us continue to make this show.
Please do not hit refresh or back on your browser because it's just a matter of time. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Let's talk about anesthesia.
Okay.
Or not anesthesia.
All right, let's not.
No, wait.
Fine.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
I was all set to talk about anesthesia.
Anesthesia.
All right, great. Here's what I think about anesthesia.
What do you think about it?
Not much. I've
We don't know how it
never
works.
been under.
We don't know how it works. You never, ever, ever?
I mean, I've had like some gas for some dental stuff, but it's not the under. It's just like the wee. I've never been put under.
Well, I had gas for dental stuff too, but there's a period I don't remember. So does that mean I was under?
Man, I don't know. That's a philosophical question.
Yeah. I've never been fully anesthetized, but
there was one time I had a very complex surgery, but I chose to remain awake because it was being performed by the great Arthur Glamwell.
You don't want to miss out on a Glamwell.
You can't miss out on Glamwell. Like
No.
I know some people that purposely get their gallbladders obstructed just to get a Glamwell gallbladder.
Oh yeah,
surgery.
You can get an underground gallbladder obstruction performed on you just to get a Glamwell.
The trick is living long enough to get in because he's got such a wait list. Because
he really does.
He's
packed
really
schedule.
He is the David Copperfield
Yeah.
he's the Lance Burton. He's the every magician except the one that I hate, David Blaine. He is all of those magicians, but for surgery.
Yeah, he's a
It's a show.
wizard. He's a wizard with your innards.
He only performs his surgeries at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas now.
Oh, that's the only place that can seat all the people that want to watch.
You want to talk operating theater? This is some operating theater.
Wow. That was your 1, your 2, and your 3 all in the one little bit. We just went through them.
I'm just burning through them because 2017's almost over.
Yeah, smart. They don't carry over. This is an article submitted by Jason Martin on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/wehaveconcerns.
Thanks, Jason.
This is a story about anesthesia and the fact that we don't know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why it knocks you out, which is disturbing. We literally don't know how it works.
What do you mean we don't know how it works?
We don't know why it does what it does.
How did we find it?
It works.
No, but how did we find it? If we ingested
it.
We were just putting stuff. We were just like putting stuff and like see if this one makes him sleepy.
Make no mistake, Anthony. At some point, somebody puts everything everywhere.
That's true.
At one point or another in our human history, someone has put the stuff.
Yeah, this is
everywhere.
This is some From Hell / the Nick stuff.
Yeah,
this is some like early like, hey,
there's
don't
some
know
stuff we haven't put.
If we don't drink this mercury, we don't know what happens when you drink mercury.
Exactly. Maybe this is the thing.
So someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Either this prisoner or this Jew.
And then, look what it does.
It killed both the prisoner and the Jew. That's weird.
Well, we got more of those.
Let me tell you something, Jeff. I'm real glad of the time when I was born.
Yeah.
For many, many reasons.
Yeah, because you have been at one time both a prisoner and a Jew.
Yeah. I've been a Jew more often than I've been a prisoner, thank God.
Sure. Yeah. But they're not mutually exclusive.
No, I mean, a little more these days, but woo, that early medical science, I'll tell you what.
So the interesting thing that what this article is about, this is an Ars Technica article about the fact that we have determined that anesthesia works on plants.
Okay.
Not just people.
How?
Not just animals.
Plant not awake.
Plant not awake. And yet, plant really not awake when you anesthetize it.
How plant different awake than sleep?
So here's what they did. You are aware that there are famous plants that move. The Venus flytrap, the creeping herb.
Those dancing flowers with the sunglasses that you can buy on the corner.
Yeah, the Plants versus Zombies.
Uh-huh.
All of the movie
All
ones.
your favorite plants are here.
Yeah.
The plants from After Earth.
Really? Yeah. You know, the pantheon of great plants.
Hi, Gary. We're sorry.
There's the creeping herb one that they sometimes call the shy plant. That's the one that when you touch it, the leaves fold inward.
Uh-huh.
The shy plant. There's sundew plants that
are you just naming plants?
Right.
Are you? Dude,
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about anesthesia, and you're just like, here are cool plants.
These are all the plants that move when you touch them.
Welcome to my cool plant podcast.
Near them. Oh man,
we should have started a cool plant podcast.
that's an untapped niche.
Oh, I love a cool plant.
And when you tap it, it moves.
It's a shy podcast.
The Shy Podcast.
Well, welcome to the Shy Podcast.
Shh.
If that's cool,
Yeah,
like if you want to be here,
We talk about plants or whatever you want to talk
whatever you
about.
want to. I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid.
We shouldn't even do it.
I'm
All right, it's another week where we're not going to put this
All
one
right,
out.
we'll start it next week, I guess. We're up to $20,000 a month on Patreon.
So they took these plants that all move, that have movement as part of their fundamental plant state of being.
Yeah.
And then they fucking sprayed them with xenon gas or diethyl or ether vapor.
Hell yeah.
Fucking just
Nothing cooler than a Victorian plant in a bowler cap huffing ether.
washed.
You know what I mean?
They washed their roots in lidocaine.
Solving crimes.
They just fucking sprayed plants with just poison.
Yeah. So, okay. I imagine you spray a plant's roots with lidocaine. It absorbs the lidocaine. Obviously, lidocaine does something different to a plant than water, but what makes it an anesthetic to a plant?
It said in all cases, the plants went, well, all of the plants temporarily went still and unresponsive. The Venus flytrap, spiky trap didn't slam shut when poked. The shy plant was no longer shy.
Yeah, it giggled a little bit. It became-
Gregarious and
yeah.
outgoing.
It was like, let me tell you something, man. We don't hang out enough.
It's like,
you, me, Viv's flytrap. We don't hang out enough.
I can't talk. My jaw is now
You-
unable to close.
I love you because of how you're always creepily eating a fly.
Yeah.
I wish I could eat an insect.
My mouth won't close. Help me.
I'm here for you,
I'm living a
man.
horror.
Because you know what? You're my best friend. You are.
I liked it better when you were shy.
Have you ever said you? Have you ever thought about the word you? If you say it enough.
So the sundew plants didn't bend to capture dead fruit flies. None of these things fucking moved.
The snozberries didn't taste like snozberries.
That's right.
So they didn't move.
They didn't move, but temporarily, only while anesthetized.
But what's the difference between like giving a plant an anesthetic and giving a plant like you give a plant like some other type of poison and it would freeze? Like what?
Well,
that's what I'm asking. Like, can we poison a plant to the point of near death and wouldn't it just behave in the same way? Well, I guess not, because they didn't wilt. They weren't physically
right. They weren't killed or damaged. They just stopped moving for a little while and then started again. And we thought that maybe anesthesia works because it interacts with your nervous system. Plants don't got nervous system.
Plants have no nervous system.
So that kind of throws that theory out the window. They have no idea why this stuff should work on plants. It shouldn't. It was some idiot's dumb idea to even try it because they had all this.
It's because of the chlorophyll.
Yeah.
It's because of the photosynthesis. Let me just name things that I know about plants.
They had all this diethyl ether lying around and they didn't know what to do with it. And they just like give it to the plants and see what fucking happens. And then everybody was shocked that it worked.
So so that means that it doesn't interact with our nervous system. So does that help us know how anesthetic works now? Do we have a better idea?
They have a couple of hypotheses about why this works on plants. They think that drugs interact with specific receptors on nerve cells or alter lipids within the membranes around nerve cells. So they could actually, but that's how they think they work on humans. So they think that they might also disable gated ion channels embedded in the membranes that control electrical pulses in nerves.
Okay.
So
the lipids and stuff. This is all like the stuff that surrounds the nerves. This is all like lipids are like fats.
exactly, they're absolutely like fats, and
they're-
so they think if it inhibits electrical pulses in fats around nerves, that maybe it's just also limiting the electrical pulses on the surfaces of these plants that cause them to move.
So anesthetic sort of dampens how conductive
That's one.
nerves or these ion things in plants are. So it dampens the electrical conductivity, which makes you physically unable to feel or move, but it's not affecting your nerves directly. That's one theory.
That is the leading theory of why this works. They don't know.
Wow.
They don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like insulating your nerves more. It's using your fat to insulate your nerves.
Yeah.
Weird. What's the other theory? Magic?
Yeah. They're
Dark magic.
The other theory is the plants are humans that were cursed by a dark wizard.
That explains how plants.
So it wouldn't work on just any plant. It's only
because why would there be human and plant? Right?
And why should plant move like that?
Why should plant
only
move?
if it was a human at one point?
This is all beginning to make sense.
Yeah.
Also, you know how plants scream?
Yeah. Yes.
You know how the plants scream at you?
You know how when you're walking through a garden on a sunny day?
To either be killed or set free?
Yeah. That may have been the fact that they were once humans.
Yeah.
And offended some dark wizard.
Consider for a moment the incohesive shrieking of a butterfly and what that means. And then the screaming of a plant and what that means. And what it means is, due to the unified theory of curse, all things were once human.
Right.
That did bad to a wizard.
Yeah.
Or sorceress.
Sure. We're equal opportunity cursors here.
Yeah. Or some sort of shape-shifting creature that not human, but also not plant. Some sort of demon.
A demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shade. A specter. And we did it wrong. And instead of the earth being entirely made of humans and populated by humans.
I think that maybe what we're looking at here is just we're in a vast tapestry of cursed humans.
Yeah, that's all we are. We're just a vast tapestry of cursed humans.
We're just in various states of pre-curse and post-curse.
That's it. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Just when's my curse coming?
When is my curse coming? Is my curse over? Has my curse happened? Because it will happen.
You're just on a continuum of curse.
That's what it is.
The curse continuum.
That is the human condition.
Yeah.
Will be cursed, is cursed, has been cursed, and will be cursed again.
Hey, Anthony, when you're cursed,
I am,
what plant do you want to be, and or inanimate object?
I'd like to be an air plant.
Air plant.
Yeah, because it's too easy to kill every other kind of plant. Air plant just hang out.
That's pretty cool.
You know?
I want to be one of those ones that
and they're
the
small.
Dandelion. I want to be a dandelion so that people will blow me.
What a shitty joke.
It was a terrible joke.
What a shitty joke. Let's just move on from that.
I didn't even intend to go there because I thought it was a beautiful image of being blown to the wind, but then when I first started saying it, I said so people would blow, and then I just went blow me.
What a shitty joke.
I know,
Let's
but
move on.
I still went there.
I know.
Anyway, I think it's a beautiful image of being a dandelion being blown across.
Yeah.
Being blown hither and yon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that what you picture in the moment? Is that too personal for me to ask?
Maybe. Just a child. Never.
No.
So, don't anesthetize me for that joke, please. How creepy is it?
I'll euthanize you for that joke.
Yeah, no kidding. How creepy is it that we literally do a thing on the regular every day? Thousands of people are getting anesthesia in hospitals from professionals, and we have no fucking idea why it works, or really that it will continue to work.
At some point, Jeff, there was at some moment in history, there was a turning point where we as humans finally knew more things than we didn't know. Do you know what I mean?
Do we?
We got to
I
the
think
point.
there's a lot of shit we don't know still.
Yeah, but we got to the point where, in terms of our daily life and the world around us, we got to the point where we know more than we don't. And
maybe
because of that, I think the moments of not knowing things become scarier in a way. Because if you think about like being in
maybe it's just
the Dark Ages in like a medieval time, and you're just like, who knows how it all works? I don't know. Put a mud on it. Maybe you'll die.
Don't you think they thought they knew things? It's not like they were like, wow, we really don't know a lot of shit. They just were like, no, we think we know everything.
That's true.
They were just wrong.
That's true. I don't know. I think, but I also think about those kind of like the Victorian era medical experiments and things like that too, where it's like, oh no, now we know how much we don't know.
Yeah.
Let's figure out
Let's just try some stuff.
I think, up until probably the last century, we didn't know a lot about medicine, you know? And so now it's like, now the idea that anesthetic is an unknown substance to us is frightening because we know so much about how this stuff works. Although
the thing that's frightening is how much we rely on it.
Yeah. Well, I think about my ADD medication, my ADHD medication, which when I was 18 was Ritalin, and I wouldn't take it because when we first figure out how medicine works, it's like, especially with the brain, it's like, let's take a shotgun to your brain.
Yeah.
And now it's like getting more like a pinpoint focal laser that fixes the issue. Now I do Adderall, which is much easier and much better. But like, that's a lot of early medicine.
But I think in 100 years, we're going to look back on all this and think that was primitive and stupid. Like,
sure, because we'll still be alive. We'll be in the machine.
Yeah, when you and I in 100 years look back and we're like, weren't we so stupid?
That's the sound of our robot jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are fewer and fewer things that we take on faith in medicine, and that's great.
Yeah. But this is one of them?
It's crazy that anesthetic is one of them.
Yeah.
Woo!
And I wonder if it would work. I mean, I guess it
does that creep you out? Because like, listen, on an infinite timeline, well, not even on an infinite timeline, on the timeline of a human life, you and I, odds are, will go under the knife at one point in our lives.
Yeah. And you hear weird shit
about
people like, does
that fucking scare you?
Oh, 100%.
Like, especially, does it scare you more now that we're like, anesthesia, how does it work?
Oh, for sure. Because you hear those weird, edge cases of people like coming to out of nowhere when they were sure they wouldn't, or they like have a memory of shit that they shouldn't have had a memory of or whatever. Who fucking knows? We don't know what is happening to your brain or how there you are during any of that.
That's spooks.
It's total spooks.
You want to,
which is
you want to do some for fun though?
Yeah, let's. Why I only want to be operated on by Glamwell, because
only Glamwell,
either under or not under, you are having a blast.
Let me tell you, man, the pyrotechnics to a Glamwell operation,
unnecessary, but really additive. I would say
timed out perfectly.
Yes.
To just the moments, the highlights, and the scary moments. Oh, and just
they're all scary.
The pathos,
moments.
like the highs and the lows. And I mean, you don't even realize you're not anesthetized because you're just so overcome with the beauty of a Glamwell operation.
The thing that's so amazing is that you think it's all pre-recorded music until they reveal that it's been a live orchestra the whole time.
He does it with foot pedals.
It's amazing.
He has like a chamber orchestra, and then he's got foot pedals. And he's looping. He's gently like changing the flow of the music.
He's the dead mouse of operating on my spleen.
He's operating on your spleen with one hand, and then in the other hand, he's got one of those crystal balls that the nerds use. And he's doing the
like
juggling
Bowie
with
and Labyrinth.
Yeah. But it's like for the nerds who wear toe shoes, those.
Yeah, he's got some for everybody.
He's amazing. One time he removed my appendix while using devil sticks. And he didn't drop the devil sticks.
Not with the devil sticks. He was just also doing devil sticks.
Sticks. Glamwell. I'm telling you, look him up on YouTube. Some of his surgeries are just unbelievable.
He's a real person.
He's a totally real person that we didn't make up. He's history's greatest doctor. Are you spooked by anesthesia?
Have you ever been under? And if so, do you have weird tales to tell?
Do you remember the animated film Anastasia? You can answer any of these questions on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And please hashtag those Glamwell.
Glamwell.
Hashtag everything you tweet from now on.
From
Glamwell.
now on, this is just a Glamwell fan podcast.
He's the best.
We're Glam fans.
We're Fanwells.
Fanwells. That's better.